Behold, by the power of the 8-pointed Chaos Star, and by the secret 5 spices of my special Chinese 5 spice, I hereby summon, conjure, and create a new egregore, whose job shall be to teach these bitches to read. Shamu, everybody, we're going to talk about egregores. What is an egregore? Everyone's got an idea on it. Everybody wants to say something on an egregore. Everybody thinks they know what an egregore is. And they talk all sorts of weird about it. So, Grandpa Dari is going to sit here. That's right. Grandpa Dari in his old rocking chair, yelling and shaking his fist at the sky. He knows about egregores. He knows about the chaos magic scene. Dari knows ball, okay? For y'all who think I don't, I know ball. So let's talk about what an egregore is. We got to go back. Not the 2000s. Go further back. Not the 90s. Go further back. Carroll and Hine. There we go. Right there. Peter Carroll, Phil Hine. These are gonna be the two that give us an answer of what they even meant. Because after them, anybody who just wanted to write could write a thing, and it was considered chaos magic because that's chaos. All right. So Carroll wrote about egregores. We can find it in Liber Null and Psychonaut, his most famous book. And I'm going to read from it here, and we'll talk about it. Religion takes the view that consciousness preceded organic life. Supposedly there were gods, angelic forces, titans, and demons setting the scene before material life developed. Science takes the opposite view and considers that much organic evolution occurred before the phenomenon of consciousness appeared. Magic takes an alternate view and concludes that organic and psychic forms evolved synchronously. As organic development occurs, a psychic field is generated which feeds back into the organic forms. A circle. Thus, each species of living being has its own type of psychic form or magical essence. These egregores may occasionally be felt as a presence or even glimpsed in the form of the species they watch over. Those who have perceived the human egregore usually describe it as the god. Communion with the morphic fields of beasts is of great importance to the shaman and sorcerer, as it conveys intimate knowledge about the actual creature and allows the magician a certain power over the species. It may also allow the appropriation of certain of the beast's powers, particularly on the etheric plane. This is a reason for the worldwide occurrence of totemism among hunting peoples and the prevalence of animal-headed / human-bodied gods in most mythologies. Magicians consider that all life on this world contributes to and depends on a vast composite egregore, which has variously been known as the Great Mother, the Anima Mundi, the Great Archon, the Devil, Pan, and Baphomet. This is what Carroll, father of chaos magic, says an egregore is. It's the rockiest rock. The most elephant. It is the oakiest oak. It is the epitome of the apex of the spirit of a species. It's not a thought form. We don't create them like that. They arise each for a species. Very similar, as he says, to totemism. This is what Carroll believed on egregores. This is what Carroll said when he was talking about egregores. So when he talks about them, that's what he's talking about. Our other view comes from Hine. In some of his Chaos Encyclopedia. One of his articles on the magical egregore. This is Phil Hine now speaking. Another one of the fathers of chaos magic. His words also carry weight. The term egregore is derived from a Greek word meaning to be aware of or to watch over. Next part is very important. I want y'all listening ears on, okay? An egregore is commonly understood to be a magical entity purposefully created by a group or order as an encapsulation of the group's collective aspirations and ideals. It's a purposeful creation. So this whole, the egregore of Christianity, Christians did not all get together and purposefully do this. Okay? An egregore is purposefully created by a group to encapsulate certain things. Now, Hein goes on to give an example of a really bad person I don't want to platform, but a lot of this doesn't make sense, because it's the example he's using unless I mention. So one such example is the entity Gotus, created by the adepts of the Fraterna Saturni. Y'all go watch my video on them, you'll see why I won't platform them. But Flowers goes on to relate how certain initiates within the FS were able to gain astral visions of the humanoid appearance of the Gotus, and that its image was subsequently cast in bronze. According to Flowers, all members of the FS at one point possessed a bust. None of that matters. Flowers notes a similarity between the concept of Gotus and Golodon use of secret chiefs. Doesn't matter. Don't matter, I'm not platforming it. Another aspect of the Egregore is the notion of direct communication, nowadays known as channeling, and much practiced by the white light magical orders and so-called spiritualists. With a few notable exceptions, the quality of the majority of channeled communication from supposedly higher beings is low in the extreme. From Flowers' description of the Godos, it seems unlikely the FS were concerned with this. Rather, the Godos functioned as a mask of the void, a projection of future otherness, further examples of this type of entity include Typhonian thelemic entity Lamb, the Antinomian Nyarlathotep, and the Cthulhu mythos, and possibly Odin in the guise of Master Magician. These entities reflect the aspiration of the magician to become other. Such entities can be considered gateways through which a magician prepares to move himself into a particular state of consciousness. The practice, nope, that's more just about FS. We're not going to be doing that. It should be understood in these terms the qualities embodied by an egregore is important rather than making contact with it in order to seek hidden wisdom or the legitimization of one's spiritual authority. Thus, the egregore becomes a focus for what is known in the Chaos School as ego magic, the work of integrating and transforming the facets of the personality in according with a particular set of aims. Ego magic is an area of magical work which is often ignored, possibly due to the fact that it is somewhat unglamorous, having few of the trappings of ritual magic. So, egregores are created purposefully by a group of people. For example, Hein made one. Hein got together with a group of magicians, and he wanted to fix traffic jams. So they created Go Flow Woofog. It's the same forward, it's the same backwards, it's a palindrome name. They created this little fox riding around on a skateboard. And when you need him and you're in a traffic jam, you tap your dashboard like 3 times and you call for Go Flow Woofog. And he comes by on his little skateboard and he zips and zooms through the cars, making them move and making traffic go. That's right. Dari knows ball. Dari knows Go Flow Woofog. Dari knows the deep cuts. This is what an egregore was to the people who spoke on chaos magic. I'm going to read one other paragraph from what Hines wrote. The creation of a group egregore is the work of those adepts who have clearly defined and expressed the collective aims and ideals of the group. This has to be intentional, and it has to be clearly stated that it's being done. Hein goes into why that's important, but it's all what happens if you don't do that. But that is how they're created. An egregore is either a super totem of an entire species in the Carroll school of thought, or in the Hines school of thought, it is something that has been purposefully created by a group to embody their ideals or complete a specific goal. That is it. That's what your forefathers wrote. People took this and ran around, especially when pop culture magic became a thing. I don't mess with the pop culture magic. I have zero. But this is what an egregore is. Here's my contribution to it. We're at 10 minutes. I'm always long-winded with these. Anyways, may your ancestors grant you the sweetest of portents. May you have the most wonderful of dreams. And may you all stay safe out there. Shalmu.